Hate this thing. Hey, Royals, welcome back. Happy birthday to all of the Aquarius and the February babies. Happy Black History Month. I had an amazing time for my birthday, and we will get into that. Before we start, let's introduce our co host. And tonight we will be talking about how to avoid this girl trip drama because those videos is out of control, and I don't understand. Y'all just like to complain about shit. And then, second, oh, and I have PMS, so I probably have no sense tonight. Sorry, just saying that in advance. And then second, we are going to honor Black History Month by talking about our very own um Jesus, Jasmine Crockett. Is that who we picked? That's who we picked. Told you. EMS brain. Gotta love it. So we'll have our co-host introduce herself and then we'll get started. Go ahead, twin.
Girl, I'm about to say happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. I had to really catch myself. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. How's everybody tonight? And happy birthday to the Aquarius, the February, next week.
Happy birthday. So tonight I actually got tacos.
Look, my
Let me see.
I can't see it.
I can see it.
Level of savage.
Period.
Low, medium, Aquarius.
Period. And tonight, in honor of Black History, I wore my hoodie. Let me see what it says. Let me see if I can move out just a little bit. I'm rooting
for everybody black.
Period. Period. Period.
I ordered me a Grippa Black History shirt. And you know they said today that they stopping the imports from China. So I don't even know if I would get them.
Well, look, if you don't, next time you come down to mommy's, I got some in the closet. I ordered all of mine last year, and they remember they came late last year, so I didn't have all of them. So we could trade. I can share. I will share. So let's see. Where should we start? Where should we start? First of all, let me tell you, I love us. I love us so much because there's nothing like a Black woman. I don't like the things that we go through. I don't like our struggle. I don't like that it's every day. And I really hate that it's in corporate and professional spaces because we worked our way up. And at that point, sad to say, slave mentality, we've proven ourselves, and still in proving yourself and doing all of this hard work, going to school, being a good person and doing all of these things. Because of the color of your skin, you never stop proving yourself. And I think that that is horrible. And it's nobody will ever understand that the way that we do, right? Because yes, do you have to prove yourself? I believe that women do as a whole, right? We got rights last. I believe the Black men do. I believe that all of these things occur. But at the height of everything, I was watching a movie about the 100-year-old sisters, the Delaney sisters, because that's my married last name. So I wanted to watch it. And the reporter asked them, what was the hardest, being colored? They wanted to be called colored, or if the hardest thing was to be a woman. And before they could even finish she could finish the question, the answer was being colored. And that is very true. It's very true. And it's very sad. So while at the height of diversity, equity, and inclusion being talked about, I was one of the people that did, oh my God. Oh my God. It's a report that I had to do. Jesus Christ. It's to document.
Oh, I'm looking like what?
Yes, it's a report that you have to do that you document the actual adverse groups that you have that go with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Jesus, it's going to kill me if I don't look up this word, but let me tell you. So basically what you do is you have to document Affirmative action. You have to document the different variations of affirmative action that you have within your building. So you have to document if you hire somebody that's military, which you get a kickback for as a corporation, and then you mark the diverse groups that you've hired. Okay. My most hurtful years were in HR. They were very eye-opening, and I was young. I didn't believe that certain things still existed to that extent. Working in corporate HR, you really see everything. And because you're sometimes the only one in the room, they forget that you're there. I've mentioned that before. In doing those reports, um, it is a reason why Black people specifically are hurt. That so many Mexican, Latin, whatever you want, whatever your preference of being called is, was hurt by how you voted, because not only did we start the front line and go through civil rights and all of these things so that everyone, not just us, could have certain things. You reverse that by voting for this man, and now you want to ask where we are? Get the fuck out of here. Okay? I could tell you where we are. We are at a place where somebody like me that filled out that report, I can tell you that y'all held 90% of those fucking positions, because diversity, equity, and inclusion is not for Black people. It is for somebody that is a minority. It is for anybody that is has a handicap. It's for any of those things. And you didn't think about that. You didn't think about it, but to be fair, you didn't think about it because you were not on the front line. You were not invested. And that showed even more today when I got back from the trip and saw the marching and the protesting of you being able to shut down a whole fucking freeway. And you waved a Mexican flag. That's kind of the problem that most of us have. If you're here, you're supposed to be invested in here, right? Right? Okay. If you knew anything about anything, you would know that our rights are being taken, i.e., no abortion, and kind of didn't give a fuck because you didn't fight for it, and it wasn't something you felt directly impacted you. So y'all voted for this man. And now that these things are happening, please don't ask me where we are. We're still doing the same things that we've always done, and we're fighting. Please stop asking us that. The question is, where the fuck have you been that you didn't know that you needed to vote a certain way? And we know this because you're bold enough.
We try to tell y'all.
Even on this show, on Rose Show, there were so many Black platforms saying, hey, as for me and my family, we actually do this, this, and this. So this won't directly impact me, but I love other people so much that I'm trying, don't do that. Don't vote for him. We don't want this to happen. You're not listening. This is what's going to happen. And now that it's happened, please forgive us because we already have several fires and fights over here. We're not stopping to help you with what you did. Go talk to your cousin that voted that way, because they're the ones going live and saying, I'm so sorry that I voted for him, and I'm sorry that I did this. You're not sorry.
He tricked us.
He didn't trick you for shit. You didn't give a fuck about nobody else. I don't want to hear it right now. So please forgive us if we're already busy. Now, what I could say is my family is mixed. Most of my nieces and nephews are both Mexican and African American. See, it wasn't a problem for me because I love that. I told you guys, we grew up with, our school was very different. We didn't grow up on separate sides and things like that. We grew up with best friends, go to their house. I never had to experience that. So my passion was purely from, hey, this isn't right. And y'all not listening to what this man is really saying. But showing those flags today, you showed that you still only give a fuck about yourself. So fight by yourself. Fight that battle by yourself, because that's not really fighting anything. And in case you didn't notice, you are still privileged. I didn't see anybody get hurt, anybody get punched in the face, anybody get thrown in jail. And you shut down a freeway. But when they did it in Berkeley as a protest, those college students got hurt. When we just protested a couple months ago or last year, people getting punched dead in their face. So fight your own battle for right now. Fight that one on your own. And yes, I am mad at that specific group of people because you did this. And now everybody else has to suffer. So no, we're not pleased with you. Period. Anything you want to say, Ro, before we get into our next president elect?
No, I've been saying. I said that that the only people I feel sorry for in this situation is the children because they don't have a say
Absolutely.
so in it. What their parents or cousins and all of them did. Those are only ones I feel sorry for. But everybody else, no, because y'all literally voted for this man just because y'all didn't want to vote for a woman. I ain't even gonna put black in front of it because y'all didn't vote for Hillary either. Y'all just
Correct.
didn't want to vote for a woman, but it made it worse that it was a black woman, and y'all rather put a criminal in charge. And look how things have been going down ever since he went in. So I don't feel sorry for y'all at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Very interesting, this
I'm
comment.
only sad
I
for the
was
kids.
going
I'm
to say
only
this.
sad for
I'm sorry. It's a
the
little bit of
don't
a
believe
delay.
in abortion birth control.
So that's exactly what
Most
I
I
was
can.
thinking already. But the reality is, in those clinics are your young girls. In those clinics are still victims and being victimized in certain races by their own family members. There's so much research that I did so that I could, one, have compassion and know exactly where it came from, know exactly how close it was, know exactly how things are still happening today that are being swept under the rug. We talked about these things, and not just us. We're a smaller platform. They were talked about on bigger platforms as well. Did you listen to what that? What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do now? I don't know what the answer is
Nothing.
now
Mind our black business. Look, I'm
because we
like,
fight
mind our
every
black
day.
business and celebrate black history.
But they get mad. I've been seeing people say, like in the comments, well,
Celebrate
it's
our
still,
black history.
well, celebrating it with what they don't believe
Celebrate
we
black
have.
history that they trying to take away from. Yeah, that they trying to take that they taking away from us anyways. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. It's Black History Month. We did
Okay.
our part. We're celebrating our month.
Tirelessly. We really tried. So for me, my heart is pure. My conscience is clear, and I try to watch as least things as possible because at this point, my agenda is full. My agenda is full as a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. We have the things that we fight for at the Capitol and everywhere else. I don't have time to take on me personally, and what I mean by that is in my mind and in my spirit. Those things hurt. Just looking up stuff to talk about, there were several things I could not talk about because it just hurt so much. And to see that they were still very present, to watch the compilation that some people made of young girls crying that were from Africa and their parents were here as immigrants and they did not vote for her. So imagine how they felt. And they have to tell their parents, if you go back, I'm not going back. You did this to us. The shit got real. It's a lot. So let's listen to our girl while you're asking what we're doing. Well, our good old girl, she's doing the same thing we've been doing, fighting for equality, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all of those things. So let's see who we're talking about. Let's meet her if you haven't already.
Seemed to be this question of you're either diverse or you're qualified. All I could think about was the fact that I currently hold an honorary doctorate. I also hold a Juris Doctorate. I also hold a bachelor's. I also technically hold the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the Civil Air Patrol, and I actually practiced law for almost 2 decades, in addition to serving on various boards, in addition to being a prior state lawmaker. And there are those that would make some people believe that because I happen to be Black and or a woman, that somehow, even though I can rattle off all the qualifications in the world, my Blackness makes me unqualified.
So there are times that, well, most of the time, in almost every position that I had within HR, My subordinates, yes, my subordinates and my counterparts were paid more than me. And I have 4 degrees. And at that time, once I got into corporate HR, right, I was 7 years in. I was 7 or 8 years in, plus all of my degrees. And they did not have degrees, but you want to know what a few of them could do? They could be classified as, and I say this because it is true, they could be classified as bilingual because they spoke Spanish, but they could not very well speak English. It was broken, but they were paid more. One of my subordinates was a white girl, and because she had a baby and just got married, I just got married as well. She was paid $20,000 more than me. My subordinate. I built systems. Sounds like a little out of control, right? So it does not matter what degrees you have all the time. It does not matter your experience. It matters what they feel like doing. Getting these OBA people out of these seats they have sat in for 40, 60 years, they really do need to get them out of those seats. It's actually out of control, and it should never be allowed. But I mean, they voted for the man that wants to demolish anybody he wants to be the president forever. So Jesus Christ. And the Latter-day Saints. So next one, we're going to go through some of her sayings, because what's really fun is to watch her say different things that we all agree with, and she goes straight to the point and uses direct words. I wish I could be that brave. I can't. I'm in corporate America. They'll chew me up. Here we go.
Well, he did say he'd be a dictator on day one. Oh, Democrats, it's just Trump. He just talks. Well, let me tell you something. He is doing more than talking. We talked about Project 2025. We talked about the consolidation of power. We talked about how he wanted to be a king. We talked about in a democratic republic, that is not what it is. We have some sort of checks and balances, and he is doing everything that he can to get rid of those checks and balances. The DOJ and the people that he's going after were simply doing their jobs. The problem is that Americans thought that it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him the president of the United States, and then they want to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the United States, and if we don't wake up, we may not have a United States, because right now he has only been successful in being a divider in chief.
That was self-explanatory. So we'll move to the next one. And hold on while I fix my Wi-Fi. While you listen to this. If you need water or wine or a shot of vodka or edible or whatever, y'all, this ain't gonna raise our blood pressure. We're gonna celebrate Black History Month, like Rose said, and keep being great. We're gonna keep doing the things that we can keep being great. We're not trying to make shit great again. We're gonna keep being great, and we're gonna keep filling seats. So here's the next one.
It's more racism. Because essentially what you're saying is that Black people, we know y'all know all about going to jail. To be clear, this guy has 34 felonies. I've never been arrested for a traffic ticket. I do want to be clear that there are Black folk that haven't actually experienced jail. I have been in jail, obviously, as a former criminal defense attorney. But I do want to be clear that, as Kendrick Lamar says, they are not like us. He is not like us. So for my clients, I've never had one that had this many charges pending against them, but I've never had anybody come close to him and somehow still be walking free pre-trial. That's not how we get treated when we end up getting locked up.
As a matter of fact, go ahead. All facts. As a matter of fact, there are people sitting, and I'm going to use Rikers because it's one of the worst jails I've ever seen in my entire life. That's close to home. I'll say that, because other countries, cool. But there are people sitting there because they were arrested for not paying child support, things like that, and they've been sitting there 2 and 3 years because their case was lost. It's young boys that go there. It's all type of people that are in jail that should not be. Mm. Yet he's supposed to be, and he's not. And then one of the first things that he did as well was to um, get people out of trouble that were involved in that January thug ambush. Very interesting. Very interesting. Meanwhile, there are people that really need help that did not do anything. And I think that that's out of control. But I digress. Maybe, thugs protect thugs. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
I like the way she works. I love the way she works. I do. Because she's not
I love it.
afraid. You do too?
At all.
I love it. Okay. The next one. If anybody, 1 second. Okay, here. Let's see. This is Rose's favorite. Her comeback. Let's see. It's one of Rose's favorite. Sometimes you gotta just laugh, y'all.
I'm like, it is.
It is. Here we go.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, motion to strike those
I had no idea
words.
what you just said.
Oh, what now?
I would have been rolling if I was. And the other one, he wanted to laugh because he knew exactly what she said.
He wanted to laugh so bad. He could barely breathe.
So
he wanted
bad,
to laugh so bad.
bad.
He was like, oh, what now? Listen, it is best to just stick with facts with her and to behave like you have some sense, because what she not going to do, she's quick. Most of us are quick. Most of us just have to get to the space where she is, where we learn how to respond really quickly. See, that's where I'm trying to get. You know, I be trying to tell y'all that I be trying to coach Cousin and Ro and all these people in my life, and they be giving me a high BP because they respond in a very away. And I be trying to tell them, please don't do that. Well, my triggers are a little bit different. It takes me a little bit longer to act a fool. However, the first thing I think of doing too is like, you motherfucker. See, you can't do that. If we could all do like her. And I promise y'all, every time I listen to her, I write down at least one word that sounds genius as hell that I did not know before listening to her. And I love it. She's Martha, the guy on the side of him did laugh. I thought so too. She's Martin Luther King, as you call me. You are Martin Luther King, Mom. But yes, she is Martha Luther King in real life. I love her. Her vocabulary, her choice of words.
Me too.
Just don't come for her, and she won't come for you. How about that? But if you do, trust me, she knows like a lot about a lot of people. So, excuse me, the regular things that you would say back to somebody, oh no, her stuff cuts. And it cuts by mentioning the bad things that you've done, your level of incompetence. That's where we all should aspire to be there, because we're all going to be Black for a very, very long time. I think in heaven we'll be Black too. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's color in heaven. I know it's respected in heaven. I just don't know if it's color in heaven. But we're going to be this color forever. So the best thing you could do for you and your children and your offspring or anybody that looks up to you is learn how to talk like that. Because what are you going to do?
Right.
Even if you're in corporate America, what are they going to say back to you? Once I learned how to master at my level, right? So I'm mastering like at the baby level of being able to at least respond where I didn't walk away feeling like I really just let you say that to me and I didn't say nothing, because all I could think of doing was choking you out. Then I felt a little bit better, and it did make me get stronger. So that's a lesson in that I want everybody to learn. Here we go. Next one. 2 more, and then we're going to get into this damn girls trip stuff because I don't get it. But, oh, no, it's actually 1 more. Here we go.
them. And the final thing that I will say
Do you
is
know why
that
those
this
costs have
election,
increased
I didn't ask you a
substantially?
question. The final thing that I will say is that this election is the best example of why y'all are so afraid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because then you can't have a simple-minded, underqualified white man somehow end up ascending. Instead, you've got to pay attention to the qualified black woman that is on the other side. And with that, I will yield.
I got my pearls right here. I'm just gonna touch my pearls. Good old crimson and cream pearls. I'm trying to tell you, they are very afraid of us. They've been afraid of us from the beginning. Here's what some of us. So here's my advice for us going into any room, right? Even teach your kids this. We need to stop asking why and move forward with how to navigate what's best for us and how to do it. The why doesn't matter. The why has been asked from the day that we got on the first boat until today. The why will never be explained. The why, even if it was explained, would not make sense. It would not hurt any different. It wouldn't be any piece of information that we could use to move us forward. None of that would work, right? So stop asking the why. The why is because you're great. The why is because you're amazing. The why is because if you really want to know how I feel at this point, the why is because you, in your brain, those of you that do behave with anger, evil, any of those things, you can't fathom and understand in your head why the Black race specifically, because I believe we're the only ones that do it, in civil rights and things of that nature, continues to care about everybody, has never tried to overthrow, right? We built our own spaces, Black Wall Street, all of these places, but we didn't hurt you. We just wanted something where we could be comfortable. We've never attacked. We are still welcoming. HBCUs have white people. Delta Sigma Theta have white women. We still love one of my best friends. You can't understand that. And that makes you fearful because your brain, your blood, and the way that you were wired and were brought up is very different. And you can't understand outside of yourself how anybody could forgive after something like that. And so, kind of like that person that says, I'm going to stick with this lie, you can't come outside of that because you're afraid to. And that's only for you. It's nothing we could do about that. So, there's the why. That's what I think. Other than that, keep going about your Black business, your minority business, and do the best for you. Stop trying to figure out why. There is no why. Education in Black style. This is what we were taught as we grew up by our parents. Or correct. This is how my mom taught me. That's why I was taught from very beginning. There's a reason why I could walk, talk, and was potty trained by one. My mom, I think she knew she was Black. She knew she was a woman, and she knew she had a little girl. Baby talk wasn't allowed in our house. Use your words, speak very clearly, communicate. All of those things have been instilled in me from the beginning. They have. There were other people that silenced me, but my mom did not. And that's very important to teach your kids. It's important to tell them as well. If something happens, tell me, even if it's in front of that person, because you need your children to believe and understand that it doesn't matter who's around. You're going to protect them no matter what. Because if that person wouldn't have did the shit they did to your child wouldn't be saying it. You have to teach them not to have fear, because it's very hard for those of us that have fear put in us to remove it. It's very hard. It's very hard. Anything from you, Ro? Why do you think? Why do you think the why is today?
Why do I think what is like it?
The why. Why do you think that they're still behaving this way today?
Because they don't want us to be over them. They don't want us to be superior over them. And like they said, they'll do everything to make it to where we never will be. They just afraid of us. They afraid of our greatness, like we always say. I honestly think that's exactly why. You know,
I agree.
there's no other reason.
It's not, because like Jasmine said, if you have the credentials and all of these things, then why would you be afraid if apples to apples, no race or anything on our resumes, that your resume would be chosen? I agree. And what we have found and are continuing to find to this day is that the credit that was taken for different inventions, the credit that was taken for land, the credit that was taken for all of these things from every single race, not just ours, they were not your own. So it's very, I don't want to say never, a vast majority of what you took credit for and what contributed to your ego and you feeling like you were a certain type of person was actually stolen. You didn't do it. You didn't. And in a world where if everything could be completely visible, at this point, you don't believe that you could thrive and survive. You could. The problem is that you're lazy as fuck. So lazy you didn't even want to breastfeed your own child. So you don't want to do the work for it because you feel that you are deserved a privilege and all of these things. And the more that is taken away and the more that things are exposed, i.e. TikTok and things like that, you don't like it. And that is what I think. You're lazy. You're lazy as shit if that's how you feel. Because it is no other way around it. People are taking their inventions back every day. Mm-hmm. And how smart of a person do you have to be able to track that shit back to where it was written in hand? I guess I could see why you'd be scared if you're a bad person. That just lets us know you're a bad person. That's why they did not want our ancestors to read and write. Absolutely. Thank you. It is true. So now on the other side of thinking, second part of the show, child, do you see all of these damn videos talking about Miami girls trip breakups and vacation breakups?
Yeah, I haven't seen it recently, but like last year I've seen a lot.
A lot? Okay. So before we pivot into that, let me share with you guys with my a little bit. Here's a snippet from my vlog of the resort. So this is my view, and then the lovely deck upstairs. I'm pretty sure many babies have been made, but that's none of my business. Let me show you. Here we go. So thank you to my hubby. You did your big one, homie. I really liked the room. It was really nice. The upstairs was like enough room that I would say if you go to this hotel, and I did footage of all the other stuff too. Only one person needs to book a room like that. If two couples go, okay, let me take that back. If you want to do things in that hot tub, then you probably want your own separate rooms. But it is, as you saw, enough room up there that you could actually have everybody come over and be up there and enjoy yourselves together. And you have a butler and all these other things. So you can enjoy one space together. Just below was the swim up rooms. So they had a cabana and you swim out to the water, and they have their own private pool. And then in the middle, they have swim up rooms with a swim up bar. So it's different types of rooms on that resort. On the adult side, that's what I'll be showing you. I don't know what the other side looked like because I didn't go over there. But the place is huge, so huge that downstairs, that's where you could kind of see that there was like a driveway or whatever. They can come and pick you up right there and take you to other places. So it's a like a concierge down there. So I really like that as well because the humidity wasn't too bad, but it was enough that after I walked to that spa way in the front and they couldn't fix my nail, I wasn't walking my fat ass back. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So I enjoyed my birthday. I did. Thank you very much. So
That's good.
it is. I am all relaxed and finding it very hard to get back into the groove. So let me show you a Miami girls trip clip that just tickled me pink because it's always going to be with girls that don't get along or combinations of groups. I don't like combinations of groups. I don't do combinations. The only way I would do combinations is like, so most of us is set up in threes for our original best friend groups. And like Ro and them is three, me is three, it's me, Elise, and Gina. For her is Summer, Alondra, Ro. I don't know why it's threes, but it's mostly threes. We would absolutely go on a trip with them. We've done things since we've been young with them. I would go on a trip with them. It's important to know who you're going on a trip with. That's first of all. If they not somebody you could chill with longer than a day at home, or they irritate you, why the hell would you go on a trip with them? That don't make sense to me. But here we go. Here we go. Let's see this really quickly.
Guess where we going?
Miami.
Miami, not ready for us.
I'm out here in Miami.
I'm out of town, thugging with my round. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Where the niggas?
Listen, y'all, my budget for the whole entire trip is gonna be $30.
What?
You cannot pay
$30?
Asia.
Not Asia. Come
No,
on.
only $30. I'm not going over $30.
You can't do nothing with $30.
Right,
Like,
yes, you can. The beach is free.
We not just gonna be at the beach.
Wait, all 7 of us are sharing 2 beds? I don't like that. Listen, I'm the prettiest, so I'm gonna get that bed for myself.
Yeah, no.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna protect my peace, and I'm not gonna choose to associate with negative people. Like.
So we're going to break this down into sections. The first one is budget. So what are what's some feedback that you have, or what suggestions do you have for considering budget when planning a trip for a girls trip? I can't hear you. Mm-mm.
It's not off.
I can hear you now. But I can't hear you again. Is it just me?
I don't know why.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm gonna do something real quick. Hold on.
Can you guys hear me? Hey everybody.
Hold on. Sorry. Okay, say something now. Nope. And I switched devices. Let me see.
That's what I was saying.
I can hear you, but it's going in and out, and I don't know why. Okay, go out and come back. Brief intermission, you guys. Go out, Ro, and come back. Brief intermission, guys. But let me tell you, I don't like traveling with bougie people. I don't like traveling with broke people. And here's the reason why. If you're broke, don't go on the trip. If you can't afford it, don't go on the trip. I am not booking a trip to Amsterdam for tomorrow because I can't afford it. I don't like the super picky person that wants to do the exact opposite of everybody else. And here's the difference. Let me tell you why I don't like it. And they want everybody else to change what they want to do.
Now,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know either. Okay, so budget. What's the tips for budget?
I was saying that you should pick out like at least like 3 resorts or whatever. Say if you're going somewhere where there's resorts, and then let them know what it is, if it's all inclusive or without all inclusive. Just have budgets and let them know what each hotel has in their amenities for all of them, and then go from there. But to me, most of the times you know who you can and can't go on a girls trip with. If they always being cheap anyways, then you don't want them to go, because I know I don't want to stay at no raggedy hotel just because you own a certain budget. And like I tell people now, it's too many ways to pay for vacations now. It's not like the olden days where you had to pay everything in full. Now you can make payments on your vacations and already went on it and everything and still be making payments on it. So you don't have no reason to say like you don't. I can see if you just doing somebody be like, oh, we going on a cruise and we getting a $5,000 room. Now, yeah, come on. But if it's reasonable, I don't think if you can't pay that, then you can't go.
Agreed.
And it's certain people, I think it's certain friends you could travel with, and then it's certain friends you can't. Like they still your friends, but you know that you can't travel with them. Like
Right.
I don't want to go with nobody that's anytime we go out of town somewhere or out the country, I don't want to eat nowhere where we have it at home unless it's late night and nothing else is open. Then I'll do it. But other than that, I don't want to eat nowhere where we can eat at home. Like we could do that already. I want to try new things. I don't want to do that. So I would say just have a few options for people to choose from and then go from there.
So I agree as it relates to budget. I think planning a trip is no different than planning a wedding or anything like that. If you want people to be included, then you have choices as well. If you're the one planning it and you invited somebody who is a mom of 4 in their 30s, does not have the money to do what you can do, then don't invite that person or have a conversation
Mhm.
with that person if it's a very close best friend, or try to plan a year in advance. So I try to do 6 months now because
Yeah,
we're
you
being
good. You real
considered
good for
fast
planning
track.
in it. You good for
Yeah,
planning in advance. I'm not really that good at planning in advance, but I'm
I
trying
do if it's
try
a
to
trip,
do
but
better.
you do if it's a trip. There's a difference. If I want to do something like a cabin for Big Bear, I might start saying something in the end of summer, but only because you have to book early or you
You
can't get
sure do.
If it was last minute, it wouldn't be a big deal. But like for this birthday, to your point, I told everybody that I wanted to know far enough in advance. I did it 6 months in advance. What you can do is for budget wise, like the particular resort that we stayed on, I picked a resort that had the type of room that I wanted. It was a particular room that I wanted because I want to start marking things off my bucket list. And it was a surprise and birthday gift to me. So I wanted something. I didn't think about anybody else. I didn't this one time. I did not think about anybody else except for the fact that I did pick a place that had different types of rooms. So if you couldn't afford or didn't even want the type of room that I wanted, there were variations of that room so that it started with one particular budget and then went up to another budget. So make sure that the place that you choose has variations of budget. Now, what the people, if you can't afford something that somebody else can afford, it's not fair for you to get mad and think other people should do certain
Hmm.
shit. That shit, I'm done. I'm done with that for real because it's so many times that I've planned trips and Ro can attest to it, especially over the last 5 years. And motherfuckers don't show up. And here I plan my shit to think about other people and then they don't show up. Don't do it. Again, avoid the things that can make you upset. I'm talking about it now because I had some of those same stories, but in a different way. They didn't end friendships, but they ended with me being hurt, me being offended, me not getting what I wanted, but it didn't end a friendship because I just let it go. But it ended up affecting me different ways. So don't do it to yourself, right? As far as budget as well, I'm with Ro. The only one thing that I do in every country is I always ask if they have a Walmart. I've discussed that before. That was before we couldn't go to Wally World no more. But I always did that because I wanted to go and see it. And then KFC. If a country has KFC, I want to try it. I didn't this time, but That's something I like to do. But for the most part, I'm with her. I even will try food that I never tried before, just to see how, like, I want to open myself to the full experience. So I'm with her. When I go, I pull out the money that I need. Plus, I take a credit card in case I just want to splurge on something and it's not something that I have money for to like spend right then and there. To her point, I use my credit card. That way I could just have the full experience. And my budget is open. But I brought all my money back. It's few and far and in between, but just don't make it so that other people can enjoy themselves.
Right.
That's my biggest part with the budget. If it's something everybody else is doing and you can't afford to do it, plan something different for yourself on that day. If it's safe. If it's not safe, all girls stay together. If it's safe, you might have to be on the beach that day and while everybody else goes, but don't make them feel bad as it relates to budget. If it's that serious, then it's okay to opt out. But to go when you don't have the funds and affect everybody else's trip,
yeah, that's not fair.
That's real fucked up. It is. And then you want to play the victim as if you didn't know the full itinerary. If you go in and you know that you have a particular type of budget, I feel like it's fair also to ask, what is the intent of that trip? Because like a place like where I just went, Dominican, right? Some people might want to go and be at every club off the resort. We opted on this trip to actually stay at the resort that we paid all that damn money for and enjoy things on the resort. That's where we were with this trip. And make sure that the resort has things on it that you want to do. It actually had everything on it that I wanted to do. So it was good. Make sure you have money for taxi rides. Take some singles and stuff like that. I can't stand a person that be like, oh, I don't have cash for tips. What the fuck that's like a part of your trip. You're supposed to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Call the person planning it and ask what their vision is for it. That way you don't go and be like, I can't believe we just staying on the beach. Or you don't go and be like, I can't believe we. And how did y'all pack without, bro, how did they pack without knowing where they're going?
I don't know. Unless whoever taking them is buying all their clothes when they get there. Well, you know what? Sometimes they tell you what to pack.
Right.
That's only thing.
So how do you not know? So the other thing, having the bougie friend that complains about everything so that you can't even have fun.
The only thing I complain about is I don't like sitting in the sun. Even though I love tropical places, but I'm not the tropical sun. I don't want to sit out in the sun and sunbathe. I already have a permanent tan. I don't need to sit out there and get darker.
Plus, it's really hot. I don't like it.
It be super hot. Like that's unbearable.
And humid. It is. It's now fortunately for us with our birthdays, we kind of lucked out because we don't get to enjoy a particular type of birthday at home, but that's the best time to travel.
To travel out. Every time I travel out for my birthday I go to tropical places where it's sunny and everything like that.
Because it's not too hot. It's not
cold.
It's not cold. It's perfect. Now we guaranteed that on one of the days on the trip it's gonna storm. But it's going to storm where you could still stay in the water, still have fun, and all of that stuff. So it's straight. For me, I don't like the... So I've been to dinners with this type of person or clubs because you do bigger parties than going away. That's why I said know your group and who they hang around too. It's always that person that just think they too cute and I don't like that. I don't like that. Bitch, I don't like you neither. Like, don't bring that person. That person just don't want to be happy. That person just always got something to say. I don't like that person either.
I don't like that. I don't like this new thing. I don't like the new thing of splitting the bill evenly. I don't like that either. Because everybody is not eating.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that at all. I do not like that new thing. Like like they said, the bill was $1,200, and it was like, because you got 12 lobsters and we got woo. Oh, but we said we were splitting it evenly, and a lot of people do that. It'd be people that just eat an appetizer. Like a lot of times now, when I go out, I can't eat a lot, so
well, we know what I can eat. I can't eat that much.
Yeah,
So
I'll eat an appetizer. My thing is gonna come up a lot in liquor, like my drinks, but still, it ain't gonna come up to us as much as if somebody got a whole a la carte meal, and then I got an appetizer and a drink, and then we're supposed to split everything evenly. My stuff came up to 70 and yours came up to 250. No, I'm not splitting nothing evenly. I'm paying my part. And most of the time when I do big dinner parties, I'll order my stuff from the bar and then go sit down.
So let's talk about the tips and tricks, because that's what this is about. So what I do
order your
is
stuff from the bar.
I'll either do that, or when you notice that the night is kind of dwindling down and people are still having drinks, I'll go over to the front and be like, you know what, I have to leave. Is it okay if I pay my bill? And they'll give me my bill. I make sure the gratuity is on there. And typically I'm the one that pays for the birthday person. Not that don't make me special. I just typically pay for the birthday person to surprise them or whatever. So I do that, and then I get my bill, and then if I want to hang out for a little bit, I do. But when the bill comes, I'll be like,
I already paid mine.
Period. Or I try to bring cash.
Yep.
So that I could lay down exactly what I paid. I'm not splitting no damn bill.
And then because a lot of people will put exactly what the they don't put down no tax or gratuity, nothing.
They forget that ranch that they ordered that was $5 or that extra side of sauce. And see, I'm gonna order how I want to order. Everybody knows I cannot eat a lot of money. Number one, 11 years ago now, I had weight loss surgery. My stomach has never, y'all saw, just ate one taco. Or I'm gonna order whatever the hell I want to order and know that I'm gonna eat on that all week or whatever. I'm gonna do how the fuck I want to do. Point blank, period. If I want to order and it costs $500, I'm gonna pay my $5 though.
Right.
So don't worry about that. You feel me? So order the way you want to, but I'm not splitting no bill for. It'd be too much drama, and I don't understand. It's always the people that order. They don't maybe not order a lot of food, but they, to Rose Point, order drink. I don't order drinks. I might order one drink. When y'all see me with a picture of a drink, it be somebody else's drink, and I take it and take a picture with it. It don't be my drink.
And my ass over there drinking downtown, drinking a towel.
As you should. You should be able to enjoy yourself.
Mine's is drinks. It ain't even a lot of food. It's drinks. But I'm still gonna pay. That's what I'm saying. I'll go to the bar. And get my stuff. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Do people not, like, when somebody tell me where they want to go, if it's a place I've never been, I always go and look at what the
online
menu is.
Yeah, I do that too.
I don't hold up. Number one, so I don't hold up the ordering process, right? I like to do that, and then I like to just get a feel for what's there, so that you don't go and be the one to turn up your nose like, ugh, I don't like this. Ugh, I don't like that. I'd rather just know it, because I'm going to go wherever the person decided to go. But we all know me. You saw what I posted for my birthday dinner. We supposed to be going out to a restaurant, the steakhouse, whatever like that. I was like, babe, can I just have chicken wings for dinner? I just want to go to the sports bar. I don't want to do all of that. That's me. So I could order, like Rose said, off the appetizer menu. I could order almost anything. I could find something. I'm one of those.
If I do order an entree, most likely I'm gonna take it to go.
Like,
I'm not gonna, especially if it's somewhere they got good bread or chips and salsa.
Girl, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap after that.
I'm gonna taste my food to make sure it's straight. Because I like to play my
to-go box.
Just give me a box. Just give me a box. Every time the waitress be like, do you like your food? And that's why I'm more comfortable now being like, I had weight loss surgery, because they be looking like Hilda thought that I did not like her at first, because when I would come to her house and she would cook, like, I literally, y'all, could take 3 to 5 bites sometimes of food and let it sit, and then maybe another 3 to 5 bites. But she make plates like I swear she a grandma. She make plates, and I would be like, oh my God, how am I finna do this? So finally I told her, like, when we got close, because I noticed she kept like having an attitude a couple of times. So I was like, I can't eat all this food. I don't take it with me, and I do like it. That's why I ate it, but I'm really full. I take it home with me and I do finish it.
But she didn't think that I liked her food because of that. No, I just take it with me and trust me, I'm gonna eat my shit. Okay,
Right.
how about that?
Be in the middle of the night. It might be for breakfast, but I'm gonna eat it.
That's me. I had a rib this morning. I'm just saying. I eat my protein however the hell I want to, and I eat grapes at night in my sleep and Mott's fruit snacks. Yes, I do. So let's see what else. So we talked about the one on the girls trip. Now I think this is strange. Others may not, but I do my own thing. When you go on a girls trip, and it's always that one that can't stay out of men's faces. They make everything you do when you get there about being let's go with these niggas. There's ballers over there. And I'm like, what was the point of taking a girls trip? And at our age, I've always been respectful of relationships. So even before I was married, my sister was married, friends and stuff. So I would be like, how is that going to look in the pictures if we all over here with guys, but the other one is not? You think that their husband's going to believe that they out here not with men? And they could have just brought their
that anyways. Men always think that when women go on girls trips,
absolutely
that they out being hoes. It's like, why do y'all think all women are like that? Like, if I say
because
I'm
they
going with my
know.
friend,
Well, because they know the difference. The real reality is when girls are seen on trips on vacation, you get the most play. It was a whole group full of older men, y'all, and I was vlogging while he was in the water, and they tried to talk to me, all three of them. It's on camera. I was like, that's weird. But that is the truth. When a man is trying to get with a woman, or even for the vacation, they spend money. They do all of those things. So at the very least, they believe we hanging out at the bar with them, getting drinks purchased for us. So, and some men take that as like not good. And so I don't think that if you're going on a girls trip with your girls, why is your primary focus dudes? That doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. And I don't like extra man lovers. I don't. If you go to the club that night, obviously at the club, you're going to dance with him and do that. But if you literally waking up like, oh, let's go down to the bar and see who's down there. I thought we were supposed to be bonding and having time together. Why does it have to include men? If I wanted it to include men, I would have brought mine. Or we could have brought our men and did things with the men and then things separate.
mm-hmm.
That never made sense to me. But I digress. Then it's always the one you gotta find because she done went somewhere.
Right.
And you find her. Laugh out loud. Eddie Murphy said Dexter be on the beach. Yeah, because baby, let me tell you. Because if they there and they by themselves, number one, they probably married because the whole passport bros thing now. Which, by the way, I listened to a podcast on the way to the airport. On the way to drive to LAX, and they was talking about, hey y'all, just in case you wanted to know, the HIV plus HIV rates are up higher in Dominican Republic because the passport bros been going there, is up by 42%.
Oh
Please
my
stay tuned for Colombia. I was like 42%.
That's crazy.
42%. What is wrong with y'all? If you're gonna go and be having fun, like, I can't tell you what to do. Live your best life. But what y'all mean y'all not strapping up?
Yeah,
Y'all should have protection on top of protection on top of protection. If that's what you went for, why you don't have everything that you need? That's crazy as hell. You should have that. And truthfully, if you go into these other countries where they don't have stuff like that, if y'all have some damn sense, y'all also have a couple of plan Bs in your luggage so that the motherfucker could take it the next day. That's what y'all would do if you was being responsible. But it's up 42%.
That's really disgusting.
Yes. So now we got to mark off Atlanta, Houston, Dominican, and the guy said, I'm going to go back and follow up on his thing. He said he's looking up Colombia now. But
yeah, because everybody go to Colombia now too, and it ain't to get your body done.
And Thailand. So
that's disgusting.
He was saying if you got a husband that be going on trips all the time without you, or they do the passport bro, you got a boyfriend or whatever like that, be careful. Make them get tested when they get back and all of that kind of stuff because they not protecting themselves. And here's what I will say about that like don't make no sense. back when I worked in the plumbing company, that was 2007. Remember I told y'all I was the HR person and all of the big people was white males. And it's several times I had to do things for their trips and stuff like that. Well, because it's not deadly anymore. Keyword responsible.
Girl, that's nasty. You nasty. And then you go back and be having wives and stuff. And no.
Kissing your kids. You a fucking whatever. I used to book trips for them. And at that time, it was a website that you could go. They had talked about going on a trip and was talking about the different, they needed a like when you go into an elegant event and you want to escort. They wanted an escort with them while they were over there. Now, why you're not taking your wife? I don't know. But they wanted a pretty escort while they want to make these deals, right? It was a website that they told me to go on where you can literally pick out a woman, book what you wanted to do with this woman, and put in your stuff. And you book all a part of it. You book the resort you was staying at, the woman that you wanted, and all of this stuff. So Passport Bros been around from way before.
I ain't never even heard of that.
Yep, it was a website. I promise you. If I could find it now, I don't know what it would look like now, but if I could find it, then I will send it to you and show you. But back then, that's something that they taught me. And you could go on and book the girl. It was your escort for the entire time that you was on this trip. They got it in Thailand and all these other places where all of these women is telling us that they taking our men because they so much better and blah, blah, blah. No, you're dating out of desperation and you're doing whatever they tell you to do. That's why they're over there. But this stuff been around. But of course, I don't understand why now that it has increasingly included brown and black brothers, why you lost your damn mind.
Really?
Because the numbers went up. That means there was a previous number and they didn't do those things as much. It's been around. Yeah, I didn't know that. I just learned about it then. And back then, that's when YouTube and all of that just really started like that in 2007, which seems so interesting. It's not that far. Well, I guess almost 20 years. Shit, we're old. So, yes, it has been around since then, but now these numbers are increasing. And it's sad that they're increasing at a time when everybody knows more about all of these things, how to prevent them. At this point, don't nobody have an excuse to me but a toddler. No. Okay? It's ridiculous. I don't understand why unprotected sex is such whatever. I have protected sex.
I don't have it at all.
I don't now. But even before when I was dating my husband, I had protected sex until we were engaged. I think. Until we were engaged. But all the previous boyfriends, the fuck you mean? Told y'all about the time I did the backflip out the bed when the man told me that I was a good catch because I didn't have no kids and I got
that all the
bro. When I tell you my legs went over my head, I'm not lying, and I flipped off the side of the bed, and I could not let him touch me, and he was like, yep. I was just kidding, blah blah. I was like, you don't kid with something
like that serious. Yep.
I couldn't. I was afraid. I was actually afraid, so I couldn't, and I stopped dating that person. But I was like, who in the heat of passion? Who says that? Like, you literally just said, I'm the perfect catch. You're going to get me pregnant because I am a HR manager. I got my own Huh? No. Be careful, ladies. Be careful. So, the last thing for a girls' trip that I think that you should consider before going on a girls' trip is the famous Black question. Who all gonna be
there? Yeah, you can't. That's why I said you have to know who you can and can't go on vacations with. It could be your friend that you can't go on a vacation with because you know what type of person they are. And then I don't think that sometimes you can mix friends, sometimes you can't because you have certain friends that you can do stuff with and certain you can't. And they can't coexist together. But
yes,
most of the time when I've been on trips with other girls, I get along with everybody. So it's not really too
me
bad.
too.
But it's been people that I'll be like, I wouldn't go with you by myself. Like I could tolerate you. Like,
And then it's certain type of trips. So let me tell you, the trips to be the most think the most about, so to be the most logical about, down to the ones that it probably doesn't matter as much. So Airbnb is at the top of my list. Airbnb. I have seen so many posts about bad Airbnbs. We got there and it looked like this. It wasn't fair.
oh yeah.
I don't know about nobody else, but when I pick an Airbnb, I consider everybody's room will be as equal as possible. I send it out to Rose Point. I pick 3, even when it's a cabin for my birthday. If it's all girls, it's different. We might be 2 to a room. Just because the bigger the house, I feel more comfortable with people not being separate. Virgin Islands, we did the same thing because we were in a villa. But I send out 3 different ones. I ensure that first, me and hubby always have to have a king size bed because he's 6'7". And then there's a couple other couples where their husbands are tall and stuff as well. So I consider that. I don't book them or book something with a queen room. I try my best to get every room when it's couples with a bathroom and a room. I try my best. Is it going to be more expensive? It is, but I still try my best to do that. And then I send the 3 options out. That way, everybody can visually, and I only pick Airbnbs that shows each room and give a description. Because here's the second thing that I do with an Airbnb. The first person, how you pay is how you pick. That way you don't get there and be worried about wondering shit. Soon as you pay me, I let the group know, hey, this person paid, they picked this room. Hey, this person paid, they picked this room. When you get there, ain't no rushing. The person can come the next day, they can come that night, they can come whenever they want to, and their room is going to be there exactly the way that it's supposed to be, even on a girls trip. I've had people come on the 2nd and 3rd day of a girls trip, and their room is not touched because that's their room.
Right.
Also not going to do is break a price down for Airbnb. And you're not getting your money back. The same way that cancellation policy is for them, depending, I'll let you know. Hey, if you cancel at the last minute, even if it's within this cancellation period, you're not getting your money back. I will try to get somebody else to be in that room, but you're not getting it back because what will happen is I picked my house early so that we can have a good house. You cancel at the last minute. Yes, I can cancel and get everybody's money back and go get another one. But now what am I picking from?
Right.
I didn't just take all my time to book no trip that y'all didn't pay me as no travel agent for to just turn around. I'm not doing it. So consider this like Expedia. If you put your money down, I'm not giving it back but I typically am good at finding somebody to go ahead and go. But if I can't, that's not on me. You making this decision when you saying that I'm going. I don't care what, it's nothing I could do. What am I supposed to do? Pay it? Do you know how many times I paid?
That happened to me before, but the girl had told us she couldn't go. It was literally a week before, and it was Essence. And
See?
they policy you don't get no money back after I think like 60 days before, and she told us 1 week before. But I had paid for everybody, and I had told them just to pay me when they got there. So I was like, no. I said, I'm not giving you no money back. I said, because I'm not getting no money back. Just as if you paid the hotel. I said, if you go look in their policy, be the 60 days before, you don't get no money back. Like it's a crap. I said, so why would I give you some money back and we have to pay more? Like that's
not. Nobody else.
And like I said, I had told her, I said, if I find somebody that's willing to go at the last minute, then I'll give you the money back if they pay. I said, but if not, then you got to chunk that up. Like after that, I stopped paying.
Girl, and ain't no paying when you get there because that's how I got fucked for Virgin Islands. And you know that Virgin Islands villa was $8,000, and I got one person, and that person till today don't talk to me. You didn't go, you didn't pay. I feel you. So yes, that's Airbnb with rooms. Now, as an agent, before I used to just put all the rooms on my card and tell people to pay me. Right? It's easier for me to do it that way. I stopped doing what was easy. And these are the rooms. When you are ready, let me know and I'll book it with your card. Because for certain things, I get a discount because I'm an agent and I don't charge fees to my friends. I only got it so that I could get us discounts like I did I got a $300 and something discount on our trip, which is why I had to know about my surprise before my actual birthday. And it couldn't be a pack your bags, babe, because he knew I would have yelled at him for not getting a discount because I like to save money. So yes, for rooms, make people book their own rooms. When you book in with somebody else, make sure that they know that same thing too, because people are trying to take people to court like, oh, I didn't want to go no more. They didn't give me my money back. So let me get this straight. If I give you your money back, I'm not getting my money back. Yeah, but you still went because I don't want to lose my money. I'm not the one who's canceling. You are.
Exactly. That's what she told me too. She was going to take me to court. And I said, well, make sure we go to court on TV so I can make your ass really look stupid. Make sure you pick court where we're going to be on TV.
So the first question that was asked on Judge Judy was, were you able to cancel? And this particular girl she wouldn't have been able to have a 2-bedroom suite, but she could have gotten something else. And she was like, why should I downgrade my room? And she was like, well, then you have to pay for it. Girl was $125. Why you didn't pay that girl $100? Why are y'all even here for $125? I'm like, we talking about thousands or 500 that I'd be out of. I'm like, ain't no way I would have did that. As a friend, y'all could have split that down the middle.
Right.
I like fairness like that. You could split it down the middle. Or if it's the birthday person, I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit different, but book things separately. Airbnb, send out all the information. Everybody pick. Have a group text once everybody picks to confirm it, because all of those things will be your proof if anything happens. Stop trusting people to that extent. Leave it where it's no gray area. Similar to me believing that you should have a paternity test at the hospital, because guess what? Later on, you can't say something like, I'm taking my kid back or I'm doing this. None of those arguments would happen if it wasn't available for those things to be said. It's already cut and dry. It's already cut and dry. Have it in a group text. If something is discussed outside of a group text, payment plan, keep your stuff. Ask questions like, what date are you going to pay me by? Stop letting people pay you when they get there, because you put that shit on your credit card at that moment. You are going to be charged interest the next month if you don't pay it. Don't nobody ever think about the damn interest like they don't think about that tip that you just took and nobody else do. They also don't think about and here's my other rule. If I book, I don't care what it's for. If I book and use my credit card, I pick my room first. I booked it. It's on my card. And guess what? If anything happens, it's on my card. Why wouldn't I pick? And yes, I am picking the master. So crazy. Yes, I know I'm 5'4" and I want this big 800-foot bed. If you don't like that, then book it on your card.
Right.
And do it that way. So I believe if you did these things, you wouldn't have problems. Look up everything. Look up restaurants. Ask about allergies. Ask about all of those things, because some people's vision at the end of the day is different for a vacation. It is. When I've gone on vacations and other people, we went to Miami. I had a great time. But when we landed, they wanted to go to a club because we was there for a day before the cruise. Guess what Asia didn't want to do? I didn't want to. So I was like, oh, y'all go and have fun. I'm going to keep my cell phone on. And I stayed there and went to sleep. I didn't deter them from going, to pictures of them before they left. They had a good time. It was my sisters. They had a good time, but I didn't want to go. As well, don't make that person feel bad that don't want to fucking go. You don't want to deal out of it and cause the issue. Now you want to act like it's because they didn't go. Did they tell you not to go?
Because I'm the kind that I like going out, but I like taking naps too. And they be like, we on vacation. I'll be like, okay, now vacation is where you supposed to relax. Like, I like taking naps on vacation. I like taking a nap.
I do. I like waking up late.
Me too. I don't like the kind that book your thing and it's something to do all day, like a schedule all day. I do not like that. I can see if you make a schedule like one thing a day, but all day long, I don't like that. And I don't like waking up early. I will wake up early to eat breakfast, but best believe I'm going back to sleep after that for a little bit. I'm going to wake up for breakfast because I love breakfast.
I ain't made a breakfast. Yeah.
I will wake up.
I didn't eat breakfast one time on this trip.
I love breakfast.
But I wanted to.
And even if we go to the club or something to get back, I'll make sure I'll be up at least 30 minutes before breakfast is over.
So you could just go grab it and bring it back. Yeah, smart. Now that's what I should have did. I should have got the breakfast
all the time. I would do that, girl. I love breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal. Is breakfast.
Breakfast is my favorite.
I won't miss it.
I had breakfast for dinner last night.
Yeah, I would have breakfast. I would eat breakfast all day. So breakfast at a resort, girl, I'm getting up to go eat breakfast.
I love it. So at the end of the day, have more communication. Let your expectations be your expectations. Do not put them on other people. Do not invite anybody to your trip that's probably not going to do 50% of it. Do not get invited to a trip and ask if you can invite somebody else. If you don't feel comfortable going with that group, then don't go. Because it's always that person too that want to invite some damn body else. Then you just wanted to go on your own trip. Because why are you not comfortable over here with this group and everybody don't know this other person? I don't feel like being anywhere away from home is the first time you should introduce somebody to a group. Because that other person paid their money too. So it should be fair for them. But if you like me, I don't give a fuck. This ain't your trip. You ask if you can come on my trip. So I'm not changing anything for that particular person. I'm just not. And then it creates bad blood. Girls, emotions is all over our face. So that is part 1. Next week, I want to do part 2 because I also don't like the person that come on the trip and got to FaceTime their man, show what's going on in the background.
Yeah. Oh, I hate
we having a conversation, so your man can over here, so stick a pin right there. We're going to talk about that. I also don't like the person that come and they want to borrow money while they're there. It's a bunch of things we don't like, so we're going to avoid them. This month is about things we do not want. So we're not going to tolerate them. And I'm not that let's all 800 of us stay in one room. No. We too grown for that. Too grown for that. That's the name of the next video. We too grown for that. If your man got to talk to you every day, step outside, talk to him. Okay, we'll get into that. I think that shit irritates me more.
That irritates the shit out of me.
Because that's my privacy. That's my privacy. So thank you for joining us tonight. Tomorrow we will be on Rosé's chat. Are you doing a show tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Yes, we'll be on Rosé's channel. Thursday we will be back here at 8 p.m. On Thursday, and we will be talking about more Black history. I will pick somebody else, and then I'll share some of the stuff from my birthday, and we'll talk about birthday do's and don'ts as well. And everything you need to do or want to do, you do need to have considerations for other people. And I think that Aquarius is one of the best signs that even if it's mine or for me, we still consider other people because we understand and appreciate people. And we want everybody to be happy and enjoy themselves and all those good things. So that is what we're going to talk about on Thursday. Any last words from you, Rosé?
No, not tonight. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, everybody be safe out there and continue to do the work you've been doing as an adult. Yes.
Happy Black History Month.
And happy Aquarius season. We'll see you tomorrow.